So Saturn is about to go direct on November 15th, and let's talk about what the transition from a Saturn retrograde looks like into Saturn being direct. Retrogrades are big picture, overarching, and sometimes it can be really hard to focus on the details. Or we kind of have to wrangle ourselves to sit and be with the details, and it could be kind of difficult. Whereas when Saturn is direct, we're very much more focused on step by step, day by day, and we're less focused on these big, maybe existential things, especially as Saturn as it is in Pisces right now. So it has to do with like big overarching spiritual pictures with the Saturn retrograde in Pisces. When Saturn goes direct, working with that spiritual practice that you have been honing and crafting, getting comfortable with, getting used to, that is going to be so much easier when Saturn does go direct. There's still going to be a little bit of kind of like wash up or backup reconsideration time until Neptune goes direct on December 7th, because Neptune rules Pisces and is also in Pisces right now. So there's still some spiritual reconsideration, even though we have our structures and systems and disciplines and practices pretty grounded. So just to note that Saturn going direct and Neptune still being retrograde, with that order and structure and discipline of spiritual practices and looking at your life as a spiritual thing as well, and what do those systems do for you, and how is that really set up to be spiritual, and what sort of power do you earn because of that? Also true. Because Saturn will be direct and Neptune will still be retrograde, as long as you're sticking to those disciplines and practices, there's probably going to be, while Neptune is still retrograde, there's probably going to be some things that come to the light in the spirit while you're keeping those disciplines in your practice, where you're finally kind of able to identify, oh, that's the thing that's been bothering me. Oh, that's why that's felt funky. Oh, I can see now clearly, because I'm now in my spiritual practices and they are detailed. We're moving forward with them. And sometimes spiritual clarity is a kicker. So you know what? Take it as it comes. It's hard to avoid the truth once you see it, so just be kind to yourself. And be kind if you need to be in those situations, because being kind to those who are blind, especially in spiritual blindness, and Saturn being in Pisces, not only will that protect you, it helps to lift up yourself and other people around you. Okay, moving on. Wait, not yet. Be kind when you are blind, and be kind to the blind. They are both applicable. Because sometimes we are blind and we don't even realize it. We don't even know. You don't know you're blind until your eyes are opened and you can see again. Kindness is a good thing. Or maybe not see again, but just see. And it could be see differently. Maybe it's a feeling. Maybe it's something you hear, Okay, sight has many forms. Especially spiritual sight, all right? That's true. Saturn direct also asks us to be really on it with our time management. If you've done the work during the Saturn retrograde, this is one of my favorite parts about the transition from a Saturn retrograde into Saturn being direct. If you've done the work, and the work works, so good. If you've done the work during the Saturn retrograde, you probably earned yourself some free time now that Saturn is going to be direct. That free time, if you find yourself with some free time when Saturn goes direct because you've done the work and the work has been working as it needs to, that time is there for you to pick up something new. Saturn is about earning a new seat of power, a hierarchical seat of power, something above where you are right now. So if you've had free time, especially in application to spiritual spaces and practices, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to add into that free time so that you can have gain within the structures in your life? And you will know if you have done the work when Saturn goes direct, because if you haven't done the work, that free time will be used learning the lessons that could have been learned while Saturn was retrograde. So no shame, no hate, no judgment either, because sometimes, again, we don't realize that we're blind until we realize that we were blind. So that's also a possibility though, and that is just, it's hard to hide from the truth once you see it. I think I said that in this video earlier, so it just is. You might have to use, if you haven't done the work, you might have to use that free time to really catch up on some things. Or it could be that you use that free time to catch up on some stuff and then you're all caught up and then you have more free time to do other new stuff to help you advance in whatever it is that you're working on. So that's a little bit more about transition of Saturn retrograde to direct generally, and also specifically with what's happening with Neptune and Pisces stuff in this current moment. Again, the dates for that, Saturn is going to be November 15th, that goes direct. December 7th is when Neptune goes direct, and Saturn goes direct on a full moon. So probably some really big clarity coming in. I need another nap. I need one. Yeah, okay. Maybe if I have some free time, I'll take one. I'll make one, create one. I'll create a nap for myself. Maybe in the future. It is. Anyways, keep up your brew. Keep doing what you need to do. And gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Oh, great goodness. Let Saturn go direct. Let the change come through. That's the other thing that's going to happen. Things change when Saturn goes direct. We're not in chaos and disorder anymore. Saturn's direct. Saturn says, are you sure about that? Because actually, we do have order. We do have rules and we do have structure. Saturn's about to be direct. So if you're seeing this before November 15th, take time to further inspect and make sure everything is the way it needs to be for yourself and your spiritual life and the transitions that you're making in any area of your life also at this time. Because when Saturn goes direct, there we go. So now you know. And I'll talk to you soon.